Okay, welcome back. Now I'm going to take a look at completing the cash flow, the projected cash flow, which you can see here. I'm looking at the blank version. So we've done the profit and loss now. Here it is completed, just completed that. Now let me go back. We need to, of course, have the assumptions for the cash flow typed in. You'll find all of these in the question. I'm just going to draw your attention to two of them. I've highlighted them in yellow. Now, the key thing about the cash flow is what we're talking about here is when do we actually get the money from the sales, and when do we pay out the money for the cost of the sales and the insurance and the wages. For example, the sales in January, do we collect all that money in January, or do we get some of it in February, or do we get some of it in March? When do we pay out the insurance, for example? Do we pay it out 3,000 per month, or do we pay it half monthly, or do we pay it all in one lump at the start of the year or in the middle of the year? So we have to set out those assumptions. So you'll notice that I made a general statement here saying that cash flow occurs in the same month as the P&L unless otherwise stated. So for example, and it says in the question that the cash from the sales doesn't all come in the month that we make the sale, only 20% of it does. Now that must mean that the other 80% comes in the following month. So January sales, 20% will come in cash in January, but the rest 80%. Now notice that I don't type in 80% here, and the comment explains it all. The two percentages have to add to 100. So I have a formula in here which is 1 minus the previous percentage. Now if that percentage were to change to 70%, let's just change it for the crack. Notice that the other one changes to 30. Or if it changed to 25, the other cash percentage would change to 75. So I'm going to put it back to what it was, which was 2080. But just to show you, so these two are connected. Now I put in another number of assumptions about when payments occur, and the final assumption is the payment assumption. You might remember that tricky payment formula. We might practice a few more of those before the test. So let's have a go. Off we go to our cash flow now. And remember, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to figure out when we get the sales, when does that flow into our business as cash, and when do we pay out money for these expenses and the cost of sales. So we go now to the first, and we have a comment here. It says it's 20% of January sales from the P&L. So remember, we start with the formula. We go to the profit and loss with January sales, and we multiply by 20%. Now we don't type in 20%. 20% is an assumption. There it is there. Now is it a constant? Yes, it is. So if we want to copy it, I'm going to put the dollars around that C22 box, so that when we copy it, it won't change. So I press the F4 key there. You can't see me doing that. That's that formula done. Press enter. Now, when do I get the rest of January sales? Well, I don't get them in January. I get them in February. So let me just show you, and it explains that. 80% of January sales come in February. So equals projected profit and loss, January sales, multiplied by, go to the assumptions, what percentage? The 80%. And again, it's typed in as a constant. So if I want to copy it, I won't want that 80% box to change. So as I'm on it now, I'm going to press F4 and press enter. Now, I have no sales. This box here would be the 80% of December sales, but we don't have December sales. So I can either leave it blank or type in 0. Now, so I'm going to copy those two across, so they should be okay now. Over to June. And I'm going to copy now, grab the stubby corner and drag it on over. And we need to check it now. So I'm saying that February sales 20% come in. So let me go to February. So it's 20%. Is 20% of 137,800? Is it 27,560? It is. And is 80% of it 110,240? I think it is, and so on. We need to check these figures. Now, what is our total inflows? So we need to add these two figures together. Remember, we add using the auto sum. If you don't see it there, it's in the home menu. It's over here on the right hand side, or it's in the formulas, and it's such a common one. It's on the left hand side. And again, Excel guesses that it's these two, the two boxes or two rows above this row, row 8, that we want to add, and that is correct. So I can press enter, I can just press correct, and I can copy that now over along. Lovely, we're up and running. What about our cost of sales? What did the assumption say? When do we pay our cost of sales? This month's cost of sales in the P&L, which is paid this month. So the cost of sales is paid in the month that they appear in the profit and loss. So equals, so what's the cost of sales? I clicked into the wrong sheet. Here it is, here it's 79,500. That money is going to be paid in January. It is incurred in January. And now, do I need to make that figure absolute? Do I want that figure to change? Well, I do. I want February's to be projected profit and loss C6. So I don't want to make that absolute. It's not a constant. Now, what about the wages? Now, well, sorry, apologies. Insurance for the year is paid in one amount in January. So I can now, I think in the answer it's a pretty complicated formula. I'm going to go with a simple one here. I'm going to go to the assumptions. And what is the insurance paid in month number 1? There it is there, 36,000. And I'm not going to copy that formula at all. So I'm going to copy this formula. That's my costs. But insurance is only paid once, so I'm not going to copy it. I can put in zeros if you like, or just leave it blank. Now, wages. Now, these comments, I've included these comments. Unfortunately, in an exam situation, you wouldn't have any comments, so you'd need to figure this out yourself. So the figure we need is just the profit and loss figure. What were our wages expense for January? Well, there was 9,000, and that's paid in January. And again, we can copy that over along now, or we can wait and copy over a few more. Now, was there any, the wages bonus would be paid, whatever January's wages bonus, there it is there, would be paid in January. What about the rent? Now the rent is paid, let's check the rent, we have a comment on it, is paid quarterly every 3 months, and it's paid in advance. So this figure is actually the total, and it's the total of the rent for January, February, March. You can't see with the comment there, hiding it. So there you are there now. It's those 3 months, isn't it? Now, we won't be paying any rent in February or March. We'll pay our next lot of rent in April. What would it be? It would be the rent for, no, it shouldn't have started with equals. So it would be the total of the rent for April, May and June in the profit and loss. So let me go April, May and June. April, May, June. Press enter. Now, something has not happened there that should have happened. So let's go back and do that again. So insert, apologies, cancel. I picked the wrong one. Auto sum. Again, it's making a suggestion, but that's not what I wanted to add. I wanted to add the rent for April, May and June. So I run the mouse. I'm holding down the left mouse key now, and I press enter. Now, I'm not going to copy that anymore. The loan repayment I have in my little table down here in the assumptions. So down here, there's the actual figure. Well, there's my loan repayment. Now, do I need to make that absolute? Is that just typed in once? Is it a constant? Yes, it is. So again, I've selected it. Press F4 and press enter. And my drawings. Now, I hope I have my drawings. Drawings is what the owner takes out of the business. And it's 6,000 per month. And it's only typed in once. It's a constant. So again, once I have it set up, I'm going to press F4 now before I finish the formula and then press enter. Now my total outflows is the total of what I spent from the cost of sales to drawings. Excel kind of guesses that that's what I want to add, and that's perfect. Now what's my net flow? My net flow is my inflows, my total inflows, take away my total outflows. Now I'm going to start copying some of these figures over now. I need to copy the insurance. And I need to copy the wages bonus. I'm going to copy those two over along now. Okay, didn't bring them far enough, so just hold them and bring them further. Okay, so notice that the insurance was paid in a lump. The wages, those figures look okay. The wages bonus, I need to copy over along now. And I could have, now the rent I don't need to copy because it doesn't actually, it only happens in 2 months. I only pay the rent in 2 months. The loan repayment and the drawings and the total outflows, those three I can copy together as one block over along here. And similarly with the net flow, I could have included that in that block. Now, the opening bank balance, well, I had a figure in my assumptions for the opening bank balance, so back to the assumptions. And the figure is 25,000. It's a minus figure, so there it is there now. Now, what's my closing bank balance? Well, my closing is my opening plus my net flow. Okay? And it's always that. So I'm going to copy that formula over now. Now my opening figure for the second month is the same as my closing figure from the previous month. And I can copy that formula over along as well. Okay, now there's a little check-in mechanism out here on the total. Let me show you. Now I want to get some totals here now of everything. So let me just get some totals. So again, I'm going to copy this down along. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it where I don't want it. So I don't want a total there. No. Now what about down here now? This opening balance. Well, the opening bank balance in total for the 6 months wasn't minus 784. It's not the total of all the opening balances across. It's actually the minus 25,000. Okay. And this figure here is not the total of all the closing balances. It should be the net flow plus the opening balance. And notice that these two figures are the same, and they have to be. This is the closing bank balance when you calculate it month by month. This is the closing bank balance when you calculate all 6 months together, and the two should not differ, as I say here. Now, I did that rather quickly, so you may want to look back over it and practice it. And hopefully you found this video of use. Thank you.